Welcome back to the Ed Show. Mitt Romney is having so much fun talking out of both sides of his mouth. It's a wonder he finds time to eat. Yesterday in New Hampshire, he went back to a lie about the economy under President Obama.
Well, there's no question but that the recession was made deeper and more painful for more Americans by virtue of the president's plans. The recovery has been slower and more painful for millions of Americans because of the president's failures. He made the recession worse and the recovery more anemic. We face extraordinary challenges right now. Our president has failed us. The recession is deeper because of our president. It's seen an anemic recovery because of our president.
You know, I could never go to a Republican rally because I'd be screaming at what I just heard. First of all, Romney can't decide whether to focus on the recession or the anemic recovery because he's been forced to admit a recovery has been underway. And for saying the recession was made deeper and more painful because President Obama, it's factually wrong. He's lying. We've shown Romney's claim to be false, as have other news outlets. That's why Romney tried to backtrack on it last week.
I didn't say that things are worse. What I said was that the economy hasn't turned around.
Ooh, a little wordsmithing going on here. He actually tried to say he never said it, so we have to keep rolling the tape. Here's more.
The Obama administration has not been able to deal with the number one issue that the country was concerned about as he became president, which was the economy. He did not cause the recession, but he made it worse.
Barack Obama has failed America. When he took office, the economy was in recession, and he made it worse, and he made it last longer.
What this president has done has slowed the economy. He didn't create the recession, but he made it worse and longer.
15 months of private sector job growth is making it worse. What school did you go to, Mister? But of course, Mitt is now back to saying Obama made the recession deeper. The Mister isn't tied down by the facts. And when he was in Allentown, Pennsylvania last week, he actually said this.
We are standing on the site of the Allentown Metal Works. This was the place that President Obama visited about a year and a half ago and indicated that this was a symbol of the success of his stimulus program. And as you look around and see the weeds growing and the windows boarded up, you could recognize that it's more a symbol of the failure of Obama economic policies.
This, of course, from the man who, as governor of Massachusetts, presided over a state that was 47th out of 50th in job creation. Let's bring in the former foreman of that Allentown Metal Works facility, John Harold, and also the mayor of Allentown, Pennsylvania, Ed Pawlowski. Gentlemen, great to have you with us tonight. John, let's start with you. I'd like to hear from you first. Were you the foreman at that plant? And can you tell us why it closed? And did President Obama, was he responsible for that?
First of all, I wasn't the foreman. I worked in quality control there for 16 years, and I worked in the machine shop for another 22 years. And I was also the unit president of the steelworkers there.
Okay. Mitt Romney is blaming this plant shutting down on President Obama. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. At this point, this is business as usual, putting the blame on somebody else. And at this point, you just can't blame anybody.
Mayor Pawlowski, Governor Romney has a political ad of himself at this Allentown plant. But is there more to the recovery in Allentown that you'd like to tell us?
Sure. First off, Ed, we don't appreciate Mr. Romney using the closing of this plant as a political prop. There has been so many good things that have happened as a result of the intervention of President Obama and former Governor Rendell. We had tremendous job growth here in the state. Over 15,000 jobs have been created in Pennsylvania alone as a result of the Recovery Act. 44,000 within the last year. In Allentown, at this very site, Ed, right across the street, we had a new plant open up, 100,000 square feet feet industrial building that employs about 130 people. We had an old Mack truck facility, which is right behind this plant, that is now fully occupied with 3 new businesses. One that makes tactical water systems for the military, another one that's manufacturing steel, and another one that's actually doing form structures manufacturing. So there's a lot of manufacturing still going on here, and even in the general vicinity that Mr. Romney did his press conference. But what's really ironic is that the region as a whole is one of the fastest growing regions in the state of Pennsylvania. It has declined in its job loss. In fact, we're about 8.4% lower than the national average. And Mack Truck even, which has been a symbol of some of the recession's decline, actually added 125 jobs within the last year.
All right, so Mayor Pawlowski, what do you make of Mitt Romney standing in front of that plant saying that that plant is shut down because of President Obama?
Well, I think it's wrong. I mean, I understand why he's flip-flopping. He's flip-flopping because he's wrong. And, if you just look at his statements, he has to backtrack because he was wrong on the facts. He's wrong about the facts in this particular plant. He's wrong about the facts, and he's tainting the city of Allentown and the entire region. He's wrong on the facts there. He's wrong on the facts of Pennsylvania. He's wrong on the facts about this country. You've said it yourself many times. We've added jobs. Over 238,000 manufacturing jobs have been added since 2009 in this country. I don't know where Mitt Romney is getting his statistics, but he better start getting this fact straight. If he really wanted to help this company, maybe part of his platform should be that he should stop the shipping of foreign steel into this country, and that would help smaller metal manufacturing companies like Allentown Metal Works. But I don't see that as part of his platform either, do you?
Well, I don't, and I was going to ask you as a mayor, have you heard anything from Mitt Romney give you any kind of confidence that he would bring forward any kind of economic policy that, say, Allentown, Pennsylvania could look forward to? What have you heard from him?
No, I haven't heard anything about his economic policy. Have you? I mean, he hasn't really put forth what his policy would be. When you're in a glass house, you probably shouldn't be throwing stones. I mean, you just quoted the fact right before this segment. He ranked 47 out of 50 states under Mitt Romney's leadership. That was Massachusetts. 47 out of 50 in job growth. I mean, the only ones that were further behind him were Michigan, Ohio, and Louisiana, 2 Rust Belt states, and one that was hit by a hurricane. Okay? So, I mean, he has no policy, he has no track record to basically stand there in front of this plant and talk about that he's going to bring jobs, because, manufacturing jobs in Massachusetts under Mitt Romney was twice that below the national average. And so, if you look at what the president has done, that our president has done over the course of the last couple of years, building jobs, bringing jobs to Pennsylvania, mostly because of the Stimulus Act, we have seen tremendous growth right here in Allentown. We got a new $80 million bridge going up. We got a new arena being built. We have this massive growth in the healthcare industry, and we have manufacturing jobs that are now coming back.
It sounds good to me.
And for him to sit there and say that this is a part of the decline is just erroneous.
John Harold and Allentown Mayor Ed Pawlowski, great to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much. Republicans keep saying President Obama's.
Thank you.
You bet. President.